Alright, today we will be discussing on some problems related to parabola and how to solve them. If we are given two particular information of parabola, number one is vertex and number two is focus, then how to determine its equation? We know the axis of parabola or symmetric axis of parabola always passes through the focus and the vertex. So using the formula of a straight line that passes through 2 points, we can determine the equation of axis. Alright, this is our axis. Now tell me, what is the equation of a straight line that passes through 2 points? Anyone? Well, it is x minus x1 divided by x1 minus x2 is equal y minus y1 divided by y1 minus y2. One thing, when you are determining this equation, please don't write this formula. All right, you just directly write it from here. Okay, so now we got our equation of axis, which is 4x plus 3y plus 1. Okay, now we need to determine the coordinate of the intersecting point of axis and directrix. All right, okay, one thing you remember, directrix is always perpendicular on our axis. Okay, so what's our next target is to find the coordinate of the point, the intersecting point of directrix and axis, which is this point. We have to find out the coordinate of this point. Okay, at first you just take the coordinate of this point is PQ or anything even, whatever you like. Okay, so let the intersecting point of axis and directrix is PQ. Now we know the distance of focus from any point on the parabola. Look, this is vertex 2 minus 3 and vertex is on the parabola. All right, it's a point on the parabola. So the distance from 2 minus 3 to focus, look, minus 1 1, this distance and the distance and the perpendicular distance to directrix, okay, 2 3, from 2 3 to this straight line. Okay, this perpendicular distance, these two distances are always equal. The focal distance and the perpendicular distance of the directrix is always equal. It's from the definition of parabola. So if these two distances from vertex are equal, look, this distance and this distance are equal, so this must be the middle point or midpoint of this line segment that joins minus 1 1 and PQ, right? Now we know how to find the midpoint if we are given to end point of any line segment. uh, okay, that is x1 plus x2 divided by 2, which is x coordinate of the midpoint, and y1 plus y2 divided by 2, which is y coordinate of the midpoint. So using this formula, we can say p plus minus 1 or p minus 1 divided by 2 is equal to x coordinate of midpoint, which is 2, q plus 1 divided by 2 is equal to y coordinate of midpoint. Now using this, we can find out the values of p and q. So now we know the coordinate of the intersecting point. Okay, now we are going after the directrix, which is always perpendicular on the axis. If you know the equation of a straight line, which is ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, the perpendicular line on it, how to find that? You just have to alternate the coefficient of x and y and alter the sign between them. Okay, and add another arbitrary constant k. Just change this constant and write k. Then if you know any point the line passes through, you just put the values of the coordinates of the point and calculate the value of the constant k, put it back, you'll get the equation of perpendicular line, right? So we know the equation of x is, which is 4x plus 3y plus 1 is equal to 0. So what will be the equation of our directrix? Directrix is perpendicular on axis, so the equation of perpendicular line is 3x, okay, altering the sorry, interchanging the coefficient, 3x minus 4y plus k is equal to 0. Now our directrix passes through 5 minus 7, so using this coordinate we can find out the value of k, which is minus 43. Okay, now put it back to our equation. So this is the equation of our directrix. Okay, 3x minus 4y minus 43 is equal to 0. So now we have the equation of directrix, the focus. So from our first lecture of conic, we know if we have the equation of directrix and the coordinate of focus, how to calculate the equation of the conic. So you just have to take a point xy on the parabola, then find the focal distance, then the perpendicular distance of directrix. Then you just have to say these two distances are equal, form the equation, eh, then simplify it. All done. Okay, I believe you can do the rest. Jump to the next one. In this type, we are given vertex and equation of directrix. If we are given the focus and the equation of directrix, it was easy, very easy. But we are given the vertex and the equation of directrix. All right, how to solve that? At first we have to determine the equation of axis or symmetric axis that is perpendicular on our directrix and passes through the vertex. We know the coordinate of vertex and the equation of directrix, so we can easily find the perpendicular line that passes through the vertex. Okay, then we have to determine the intersecting point of axis and directrix. If you know two equations of straight lines, then it's very easy to find the intersecting point. You just have to solve those two equations. So solve those two equations and you can find the coordinate of the intersecting point. Now we know the coordinate of vertex and the intersecting point. You have to take the coordinate of focus PQ, like previous problem. Okay, and of course it would be the midpoint of the line segment joining the focus and the intersecting point. So you took PQ as the coordinate of this point and we calculated the intersecting point. So using the midpoint formula, again we can find the coordinate of focus. So after knowing the focus, it is very easy. Yeah, like previous problem, we know the equation of directrix, we know the coordinate of focus. You just have to take a point pxy on the parabola, find the focal distance, find the perpendicular distance, say these two distances are equal, form the equation and simplify it. All right. Now I have some problems for you. Number one, determine the equation of parabola with vertex 3 1 and equation of directrix 4x plus 3y is equal to 5. So we are given the equation of directrix and the coordinate of vertex. It's just like type 2. Okay, so it's very easy problem, I guess. Problem number 2, determine the equation of parabola with vertex 4 minus 3, length of latus rectum is 4 and its axis is parallel to x-axis. From our previous lecture, we knew the equation of parabola with vertex alpha beta and axis parallel to x or y axis. If the axis is parallel to x axis, then our equation was y minus beta whole square is equal to 4a x minus alpha. Okay, so use that formula, and another information is given: length of lattice rectum. We know the length of lattice rectum is modulus of 4a. So here the length of lattice rectum is given at mod, that means mod of 4x is equal to 4. uh, that means 4a is equal to plus minus 4, a is equal to plus minus 1. All right, just put the value of a in our equation, you'll get the equation of our parabola. You just have to simplify it a little bit.